that it's a promise. That's a year. That's how we do my father's name, even my wife. And probably there's also for Friday, which must be like because it's the last. So, I'm sorry about that. And then to see you know how to use. Yeah. No worries. That's the first time I saw that with your fans. So you're always. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this. Yeah, no, Friday. No, Friday definitely. I mean, as I said, I have rescheduled, right? So tomorrow I will come in the afternoon. Thursday I will see my friends in the morning, and Friday full day. Okay, set it outside. Very good. So how about Mr. Olivier? He's supposed to present. What is it? French. That is French. No, David already told me, be more relaxed, be more relaxed. Yeah, to be patient. Okay, good afternoon, all of you. We're waiting for Mr. Olivier to come and present to us. This is industry type. The French guy, you know him already. He's a very interesting guy. I see. Has lots of experience, and he can share with us. Let's see what he provided to us today. So my question is, did you check the medley? Any of you had a chance to watch the videos, and how many of you watched the videos? Yes.
Very busy preparing the presentation.
But your presentation is not today, is it?
Not today, but
tomorrow.
My supervisor said a lot of it.
You have not submitted on the 15th.
But
Thank you.
But I would like to suggest, please do it as soon as possible. Then watching the video takes maybe 20 minutes of your time, because it has 7 short videos, and after 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 2 minutes. And
if you have time, maybe you can see together and you can explain more.
yeah, why not? Huh? That's fine. Let's see.
Since you are here,
it's working, and it should.
Anything you can explain to others.
I searched to find that guy, downloaded the videos already, but I could not find it in my computer. So, but anyway, it's online, it's the internet is good, you can watch it online as well. So even any of you want to use this for your presentation, please let me know. For the presentation, if you don't want to use this, no, this one.
Oh, yes.
Select a device. If you are interested, you use this for your presentation, and then you they call it e-beam. E-beam. Something like that.
This is like a shadow to reflect the speed.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we are trying to use whatever possible technologies for your pedagogy and learning and teaching.
Just like an iPad. You connect the iPad with our e-set.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you can use iPad presentation, you can follow it.
Exactly. And also, if we have live stream, you can use research and YouTube channel, Mass Colloquium YouTube. You can watch this.
Or press play.
But one of your colleagues told me for presentation, if possible, be offline because of the privacy. But maybe he doesn't want to share his research globally because he's doing his research now. He's running his research. So if any of you have difficulties for your presentation and don't want to share it all over the world, please let me know. We have offline session for you. But the others, if you are interested to share with anyone, we can have live stream. session. I'm sorry. Did you bring your laptop? Yes. Well, Dr. Lisa talked about this morning that we have, yeah. So this is yeah, okay. Next. All right. Right? That's why I want to share in the next. The two. Yeah, you started. Okay. Okay, great. That's yeah. So you know, that's why maybe just I have that ability to access to any of these databases for free. Ah, okay. But there are, you know, some people that provided these facilities that we don't recommend, but sometimes if you have difficulties, you can also try this. Okay. You can download for free. These are some people or NGO that they want to support researcher. But definitely the server is somewhere located somewhere. They're skipping the room. Because to support it, so they said the more players there is, there should be no barrier sites. If someone has any difficulties, but this is the only recommend. And nobody with banks go a little bit more critical. Number, you know, that's that's why. So, you know that this morning was just to make my day, right? Okay, everybody, thank you very much again for your patience. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Olivier to give you a talk about the topic he provided.
He's supposed to start at 1:30.
It's supposed to start at 1:30. Anyone is good? Yeah. That's what I'm going to because as our schedule it was one, but it's getting to extend it. Oh, one is very that's good. It's not only just this out. It's program analysis. One time for our coffee or something. Like that.
Actually, I don't know what the question like this, what to do like on. So interview like this. This is not interview. How much more than this? I haven't tried yet. But can I get like go like this country where I can see so it's look like it's not really okay. Okay, now I go back
Okay, we're going to start. Okay.
Let's be honest. So guys, please, now I think the time Mr. Olivier can start. He tried to talk to you, you were talking to each other. So I just want to interrupt you, please. Be ready for Mr. Olivier. He's also a PhD student, but he's also studying on university. Later on, as I said, we have the session for any of you. You can come and present your experience with your colleagues and other counterparts. I would like to invite him again to come and present. He prepared a very interesting topic, digital marketing for you. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Okay. So I'm here as a lecturer, but as well as a student because I'm doing like two PhDs. Okay. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about what we call digital marketing trends. Why digital marketing? This morning I've seen already Prof. Prem who said that more than 72%, if you remember this, I think 72% of companies are struggling to keep up with technology. Okay? Unfortunately, it's a lot. So, yes, everybody is struggling with technology. But why? Because last time, some of you, or most of you, you learned marketing mix. Okay? We had the first 4 P's. After we changed to 7 T's. So 4 P's, product, place, promotion, price, okay? And we add 3 P's for for service. People, process, physical evidence. Okay? But this was last time. Why last time? Why you have all the dwarfs? Because now, if you follow only 7 P's, you're a dwarf in the industry.
You like all the so what?
Okay. Okay, all this,
Yes.
so all this is no more. Why? Because today we are a world which is interconnected, and we have what we call social network. No, you are all connected at least with Facebook, Twitter, whatsoever. We'll see later. So now we have something on the social network. We're more working on the 4 R's. 4 R's for what? Repeat, recommend, retain, repossess. Why? First, repeat. You know that a customer is not a one-time customer. You need your customer to repeat order regularly, okay, for you to make business. Lots of companies did not understood this yet. I mean, even in Malaysia, lots of companies at the moment think that if they can take as much as they can through the customer the first time, they make money. But this is not true. Because the customer, if he doesn't repeat again and again the order because he's taking for stupid or taken for granted, how do you expect your business to sustain? Okay, we call it repeat order. In fact, we're talking about several years. And yes, the cost of incentive, here we have the box, we have the wrapping, we have all the things that we need. So that, as you see, it's better to sell in a nice box than just the raw product. And multiply by 3, 4, 5 the product value, like this morning Prof. Prem explained. Second thing, which is interesting, is recommend. And this, through social network, is very, very, very important. What is recommend? Last time, my old days, or my grandfather, when they used to sell, a customer who's happy is going to tell 3 friends. Okay? Someone who's not happy is going to tell 10 friends. The rule is 10 and 3. But now, you're not happy with something. You go to the restaurant, you're not happy. You have Facebook, you have, in less than 2 hours, the entire world know that you are not happy.
Not very bad.
They block this.
Because that's like
Here, that's true that, as we say here, it's very, very important recommendation. You see the like button on Facebook, the share button on Facebook, and on other things we're going to see, as I said, on the social network. All this, if you don't share, means you don't like. If you like, you share. Because you cannot put like. Yes, since 3 days now on Facebook, maybe you notice you have, when you click on like, you have different solutions. It's like, love, wow, and I don't know, and one angry or sad. So you can express different feelings. Might be interesting for your information on your customer base, on your client base. But still, people recommend. Just how many of you, when we go to restaurant now, they take the picture of the food they eat? What they call not selfie, but self-food. Until the case that a few years ago, I'm French, I used to eat in nice restaurants in France, everywhere. People, if you take the picture of the food, the chief cook might throw you out of the restaurant. Say, hey, you don't take the picture of the food. This is my, there are copyright, this is my dish. But today, If you don't take the picture of your food, as the waiter will say, everything's fine, you didn't take the picture of your meal yet. True or not? So it's a different approach now. And that's true that the first time you're going to sell food, it's now the restaurant is happy because you advertise for the restaurant indirectly. So if you advertise for good food, you will recommend to your friend, to your family, and if your Facebook account has more than 2,000, 3,000 friends, means that maybe at least 200 will see your post. If some of them share this post, it's exponential. Okay? We have more than 2, 3, 4, 10,000 people that will see your post at one point. Third one, retain. Of course, retain, I would say, keep a good relationship. We're still in social network. You discuss with your customer. To retain your customer, you have to understand their needs. It's not only because you put like that they're happy with your product. And most of the people that do not like your brand will never shout it out. With Facebook, with all these social networks, they start to say out that they dislike your product, they dislike your thing. So it's here that you have to build on the long term what a very good relationship with your customer. Okay, it's no more like last time. Remember Gerald Henry Ford, the one who produced all the cars in 1928. He used to say, "My customer may want to choose the color of the car as long as it is black." Meaning, you don't have any choice because he proposed, you like it, it's okay, you don't like it, anyway, there's no other car available on the market. But today, no such thing. Maybe for one product, Apple, where you still have people that are able to queue up and to sleep in front of the shop of Apple for 2 days in order to be the first in town to have the latest iPhone. Even if 1 week later, you have 1 million persons having the same phone. But they want to be the first. And they're going to sleep in front of the door. Okay?
Now we outsource.
That's right.
We outsource the volunteer to sleep there for a day.
You see, but until that extent, that's true. Until that extent. But besides Apple, you have a nice company, nobody will queue up and will come and sleep in front of the door to be sure to have your product in the morning. Okay? It's only Apple because it's marketing, really a marketing strategy. And so here, relationship, yes, think about that. Relationship all the time. Maintain good relation with your customer. And third, reprocess. Why reprocess? Because there's always something wrong at one point in the lifetime of your company, in the lifetime of your product, of your service. But if you take 3 years to react, customer is gone. Okay? Toyota, when they had a problem with their cars, it took them 1.5 years to recall the car with problem and to fix them in their own factory, in their own dealership. 1.5 years was way too long. And we see that in US, in 2006, from the first brand of car in terms of quality perceived by US, by American, after 1.5 years, become the 5th or 6th brand only. They lost a lot, I mean, a lot as well in sales. Why? Because they didn't care about reprocessing. And especially today in the digital age, what I call reprocessing is you have to use a lot of different channels, okay? Not only your website. If you use only one website, you're out, okay? Website is like a shop, like a store, nothing else. Okay, if you don't move, only people who go every day in front of your store, when you have a normal store in the city, will see your store. On the internet, it's even worse. if you don't advertise, if you don't say that you exist, and apologize if you do something wrong on the internet and you have a way to do it, people will not forget you. They might forgive, yes, but it might take time. And they won't forget your mistake, or if they forget you, it's just because they switched to your competitor. Okay, so these are really the strategic 4 Rs. Now we talk about social network. Okay, so now this morning we are talking about big data. Wow, as well. Okay, we can talk about big data as well. But in fact, when we're talking about data, yes, data is important. Why? For whatever analytics, what is relevant, and how to know better my client. Okay? How to understand my client, my customer, my prospects, what do they want, what do they expect, who are the people who come in and out of my store, my website store, on my web page, on my Facebook page. All this now we can get it. Okay? Through, you have a few tools such as Google Analytics, Facebook Analytics, Twitter's Analytics, YouTube, Instagram, and all this that will be more or less efficient depending on which browser you are using. Okay? Because we all have a way, and we all use a browser. Even the browser we use is an indication of who you are. Okay? Especially if you use Safari here for Macintosh. Opera is more for people that are more programmer, developers. Less people are using it. After you have Internet Explorer, and now Edge for Windows 10. And the most important, Mozilla and Chrome. All these, depending with which tool you browse the web, it's a little bit like, for me, with which car you come to my store to buy the grocery. It's already, for me, an indication, an information on who you are and maybe what you're going to buy. Okay, so all these are relevant information. So let's talk about especially information. First, Facebook. What can you get from Facebook as information? Mainly, if you know gender and age of likes. I know everything about people who come on my Facebook page. I know exactly the age. I know exactly what they like as well. The country they are from. Okay? So, in fact, usually Facebook users are a good customer base for you. A very good customer base. Because these are people that will share. And share, I mean for free. Okay? We are no more in the age of granddaddy where we use just to advertise on the radio, on the TV, or billboard outside. How many people remember the latest billboard they've seen this morning coming to the university? It's almost useless now. How many of you remember, if they switch on the TV, the commercial that are displayed on the TV? Most of us, we switch off the TV when there's a commercial in the middle of the movie, okay? Or we just stand up and go to the kitchen, go to the room, okay? And it's interesting, one of our advertisement agency last time did a comparison and a survey of the consumption of water during commercial. When you go to the loo, you flush the water. So each time there was some advertising or commercial on TV, you had a higher consumption of water in the city. See, you can compare things that sometimes If you go and look at the consumption of water, I'm talking about TV advertisement. But yes, TV advertisement. Okay, so that's right. Facebook is your customer base, and you can learn a lot about gender, age, location. You have, if you advertise on a Facebook page, we're going to ask you as well, who do you want to advertise, which kind of person you want to advertise, and what do we like. If you sell car, you may want to advertise only on people who have on the Facebook page, on their wall, cars. See, that's true that we all link to a few pages. You link to music page, you link to whatever you like, you have on your Facebook page. So really interesting, okay? And for me, as a company, it's damn interesting as well to use this data. Because not only in terms of marketing, in terms of target, I can really target very precisely who I want to sell to. Okay? If I need to target, because we're talking about countries, but as well area, I can very well have a campaign on Facebook only for people from 18 to 24 years old, fan of Ducati motorbike, and living in the Klein Valley. And I'll have my campaign. When you do that on a billboard, when you do that on TV, it's impossible. Okay, you don't have that specific target and you don't know the customer. Here you know. So when we analyze what is going on Facebook, we get a lot of information, and you must and you have to be more efficient when you market your product or your service. Okay? Second one, Twitter. Okay? So Twitter, say, you know where you do the tweet. Because Twitter, there's no way to remove your location, or very complicated. That means that here, which is interesting, is that if you have a fair, you can advertise to Twitter people, Twitter followers that are in your area. You can send a tweet to people that are 300 meters from Must University or 1 kilometer in the area. You can. It's very easy to do that. Okay, if you have the proper tool and they exist, all this you can get it. So again, when you're talking about target, it's fantastic. Because the information that you want to get from your customer, you get it very easily. Here, gender, of course, and follower activity. We know what they like as well. Whether they like politics, whether they like cars, whether they like just to mingle around with students. We know all this. So I would say when you start to be online, for me, it's like you are naked. Everybody knows everything about you. Okay? It's something, it's dangerous, of course, because you have a few problems with security of data and privacy. In some countries, privacy law, they have a hard time to follow up because the technology goes faster than the law. Okay? But that's true that it's a problem, privacy problem. Okay, so it's interesting as well to know exactly the time during which your followers are most active. For instance, Twitter or Facebook. Do you know what is the best time to advertise on Facebook? After 5 o'clock, okay. Usually after 5 o'clock in the evening. And the best day. Exactly. In Facebook, the best time to advertise, weekdays is after 5, but usually the best day to advertise is Saturday, Sunday, and Friday evening.
Well, I guess we better go with the days rather than time.
Sorry?
I guess we better go with the days rather than time because region has different times.
Yeah, as well. But
It's
you
not-
can program on Facebook when you want your advertisement to be displayed. You can program. I want that in this region they see my commercial, my post from 5 in the evening until 10 only, and I want them to follow me only on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So they will see your post, and you see that's why a lot of companies don't understand anything. First thing the boss is going to say his employee on a Monday morning, okay, you put the advertisement or you put a new post today in the morning because we are Monday, people will be happy to know our product. Nobody will see. Nobody will be interested on the Monday morning to see your new product. Okay? And since you have lots of posts on your wall, once it's the evening, unless you scroll down for 1 hour, you won't see anymore the advertisement. You won't see anymore what you're supposed to do. So, through that campaign schedule is, well, interesting here is a little bit like radio. So that on the radio, you have specific time where you can reach the people in the morning or evening when they are stuck in traffic jam, morning or evening when they go to work. Okay, this is exactly the same. But here, let's say, is worldwide. It's not radio, which is local radio. So the third one, YouTube. Again, YouTube, usually you send lots of video. You're supposed to send maybe not a lot. You have to be careful on the posting frequency. For instance, Facebook, maximum once a day. If you send more than once a day, people at one point, they will put you under the spam or dislike your page. Because too many. Once a day, it's okay. Same for Twitter. If you receive from the same company 3 tweeters every hour, 3 tweets, sorry, at one point you say, I don't want to listen to them anymore because your phone keeps on ringing. Okay? So, YouTube, usually you use it either to draw people, your audience, directly to your YouTube page, or you can use it as a means to just upload your video and you link this to Facebook, Twitter, or any other social network. But here, video viewing, again, I can have knowing demographic data about my audience, age, gender, distribution. In YouTube, you have like, dislike, and you have comment. So I learned a lot again about my customer. Okay, you have quantitative and qualitative assessment. Because since your audience is going to talk to you, I like, I don't like, you can adjust what you want to do or what you don't want to do, what you want to display or not on YouTube.
I think another good feature about YouTube is it provides a star rating as well. From the star rating, you can easily identify the quantitative analysis and from the...
Exactly, you have a mark, the star is kind of a marking. So if the YouTube marking, you have 1 out of 5, means that your video, nobody will appreciate it. If it's 5 out of 5, wow, you might have a few more customers at the end of the day. So this, yes, that's true that when you call like, dislike, and star, you know how to adjust to your customer base. Okay? Especially because here as well, people, if they like your video, this is very trendy to share. So if they share your video, you have more chance to sell because they do the advertisement for you. Okay? So here is a little bit more complicated. Google Analytics. These are the stats of your website. But you can learn as well lot of things. Is using Google Analytics for website and so on.
I have used one back in Pakistan, and because the reason is I've done SEO on my website. So based on that SEO analytics, there's quite high.
Okay, so SEO, search engine optimization, for those who don't know. All this, I want today go through all these specific terms, SEO, PPC, CPM, all this. I want to just to explain in a simple thing. Google Analytics lets you know what are the statistics of your page, but in very, very detailed way, because you have more than 20 different tools that you can use. For instance, the first tool, bouncing rate. What is the bouncing rate? In fact, is to know how many persons are coming to your page and how many leave your page very fast without going further on your website. For instance, if you have a bouncing rate of 80%, it's not good. It means that 8% out of 10, when they land on your home page, they leave straight away. You might know they're going to tell you how long they stay. I've seen, for instance, one of the websites, 80% of the people stay 10 seconds on the website and leave. The first information that I get, my homepage has a problem. Have to redo it. Because remember what we say, retain people. First, you have to retain them on the website. If you sell, if you're Amazon, you need to capture the sales. If people, they come straight away, they leave. How do you expect to sell? I was working for a few years ago for a company which was doing hotel booking. Okay, online hotel booking. You know that they spend a lot of money to get people to click on their website. So one click average is in dollar 2 to 3 US dollar. One click. For instance, if you Google hotel in Paris, they will pay 2 to 3 USD among the first pages, the first page on your research. Because you have so many hotels, so many things that if you are on the 3rd, 4th, 5th page, most of us, when we Google a result, we can do a test here. When you do a research on Google, how many of you go after the 2nd page? Already 2nd page, nobody. The first page, because the first page, you need to go to click the button next for the 2nd page. But after the 2nd page, how many of you continue? Almost nobody. So you have to pay a high price to be among the first result. For this, you have to pay into that. Okay, we call them AdWords. And you can pay very expensive. So if I come back to my booking service, if I know that my average rate is for each person, for every 5 or 6 persons who are going to arrive on my homepage, 1 purchase, the cost is already very high. 6 multiplied by 3 US dollar. The cost of having 1 client is 18 US dollar. If my margin, because they just this person is going to just book a small 1-star hotel in the center of a small city, and my margin is $10, even if I sell, I still lose money.
Can I add some more things? There's a saying in engineering that there should be a markup of 8 seconds. If your website has 8 seconds retaining of a customer, then this is a good website. It is a considerable good website. And to retain a customer, you need to have usability engineering in your website. So there's a whole theory of usability engineering, and you will commit interaction, that how you are going to display your website to the customer so that you can retain it for 8 seconds at least.
Yeah, this is a rule, but now it's changing because I would say you have as well the problem. Look, in Malaysia, it used to be very good bandwidth on the internet. Now it's one of the slowest in the world because they never improved for the past 20 years. When I arrived in '96, they were a lot more advanced than France, and I was happy to use the internet. When I came back here 3 years ago, I was crying when I see the internet.
But again, this is the concern of a programmer, because if you put so much like a content actual stuff on the website, it takes a lot of amount to code. Other than that, they put some Ajax and some other tools on the website. So
yeah, I fully agree. This as well, but this we have to in a company talk to all these IT people, because IT people, they like to have a beautiful thing with Flash, with image, and you as a customer, what you do, it takes you 1.5 hours to load the website. So at the end, you just click out.
Yeah, in Malaysia, they put it on that. Our minister said that Malaysian people slow.
when I was in a software house,
You know why they prefer slow, right? So,
when I was in a software house, we had a website there. And in that website, the requirement of the client is you have to put the video on the website. We try to convince them that if you put the video on the home page, it will take a hell lot of time to reload that video again and again. But since it is his interest, so we have to do it. And unfortunately, he lost his clients. Our client has lost his clients due to his assistance.
No, video on the home page, for me, I would disagree, because it takes a lot of.
This is what we are trying to
It's nonsense, yeah. It's nonsense. No, that's true that for all this, after I'm giving some lesson at the moment to students how to create a website. You have a lot of websites that you can create very easily for free on the internet and get your own small website ready within 3 hours. But sometimes you pay 20 or 40,000 US dollars for people who say, I'm going to program your website on HTML, they add the Java, they add all the nonsense thing, and you have a very heavy website, useless for your customer. We all, at the end, our website is to sell image of your company, to sell product, to sell a service, to communicate with your client, your customer. So it has to be efficient. Bouncing rate here is important. Second is to know the landing page. That means how they come to your website and which page they come first. Sometimes it's not necessarily the home page. Sometimes they just bookmark a specific page and they will stay on this page. So here you have average length that you can have on website, how many pages people have seen, which page have been seen for the longest time. So you know exactly that the customer will stay on your website for 1.5 minutes and will have to see 3 or 4 pages. And sometimes you ask your programmer to take care of this specific web page on your website. And when you go on Google Analytics, you see that this web page has been seen only twice in 1 week. It might be the developer and his wife. So you pay people for nothing. So here, as well, something interesting is the origin in Google Analytics. Where they come from, not necessarily language is important. If you have a website in English, but most of the people coming on the website are from originally the language which is either Malay or Chinese, or you might reconsider translating your website. It's a good decision. But the origin of the web page is interesting as well, to know where they come from. See, everything I can know. It's really, with Google Analytics, it's really interesting for that. That's what we could call big data. But detailed data, not big data. I know everything about my customer. And you can know as well whether they come from mobile, tablet, or PC. This as well is detected. So it's interesting to have, for instance, your website ready for smartphone. Because most of us now, we always try to go on the internet with our smartphones. Okay? It's interesting to know this trend in order to answer. Because that's true that you still have a lot of companies that do not have a proper mobile phone website. You want to have some information, you cannot. Because you are in 3G or in 4G, or you don't have Wi-Fi in the place you are, and the programmer put something, a flash animation, which is incompatible with your latest HTC, iPhone, or Samsung, you know it. Okay? You really know it for that. So that's why this one as well is a key element to know on your customer base. Okay, so here as well, we're talking about privacy on the internet. And good news, there's not a single privacy on the internet. Good news for business people. Okay, you can know everything on the internet. Okay, for instance, and I'm going to show you a website. For instance, Spreadfast. Spreadfast is a tool that will be able to capture every tweet from anybody, you know them, you don't know them, within, for instance, a 5 kilometers area, or anybody would tweet with a specific hashtag, let's say hashtag MUST, straight away, you can capture the tweet. Same for Facebook, same for Instagram. You can capture the tweet and display on your website or on any website. Okay? And the problem with this, that means it will stay on your website for years on your page history. Because somewhere it won't be deleted. So if you tweet something to a friend, look what I did yesterday in the restaurant where they're dancing on the table naked, the website, yes, of a company you don't even know. See? Until that extent. So sometimes, last time I just Googled my name on the internet because regularly I Google to see, to have a little bit of information in order, because we have to protect our privacy, but as well have to protect my image to see what is displayed about me on the internet. And I've seen that there was still a post. It was just a comment on a movie that I watched in Singapore in 1998. A comment on 1998 on, I think it was Gladiator movie or something like that, was one of the pre-release. I just commented at night. Now, you can still find it on the internet. Just imagine, where is the privacy? Okay? And is useless. People say, yeah, but I have a public profile, a private profile. Okay, but at one point, you will do some mistake. You log in on the private, on the public profile thinking it's a private, or if you tweet on a hashtag to your girlfriend, too bad it was your boss, because you made the mistake with the telephone. All these kind of little things that are dangerous. Okay? But for us, businessmen, very good. Because we make money with it. You see, for instance, here is the website of, well, Sam Darby, LPGA, that was the golf tournament, one of the top golf tournaments that took place in nearby in Kuala Lumpur. And you had, out of 100 players, the top 60 world player in the world on the ladies' side. And we had, I was the one who was handling the website, and we had on the website what we call the social hub. Social hub is what? Means exactly what I was saying just now, that every single thing that the girl or that people would say through hashtag on Twitter, on Instagram, and so on, would be displayed automatically. Of course, we had a moderator because we wanted to do business, so anything that was not relevant golf, we removed. I could capture every single thing. You see, second one. So the page is very long, and you see where it comes from. It comes from Twitter. We have here. Here it comes from Instagram. And these are the players. We are used to it. But not only the players. We did, meanwhile, an event that was the P Saturday event in Bangsar shopping mall, very near here. Everybody who would say the word ping or would be in 500 meters from the Bangsar shopping mall, it would be displayed here. People didn't even know. When I was looking at it, some people just said, come and join me for a drink. I'm in Bangsar shopping mall. But we would display, because join me for a drink in Bangsar shopping mall, for us is important, because this is where our event were taking place. Even if these people that tweet this kind of message didn't even know that there was an event in the surrounding, because it was at the 3rd floor of the building, so nobody knew. Not nobody, but a lot of people did not know. But still, their tweet was released here, or their Instagram post, or their Facebook post. So here, just to underline the fact that there's no privacy on the internet, the latest tool that we have to do some business are, in Europe, they would call it intrusive tool. Intrusive, you make business with it. Because people see, wow, so many people are in the event. No, I had 1 kilometer around all the tweets in 1 kilometer around my event. So sure, on a virtual world, I have lots of people attending my event. That is not true. It's just a way to sell my event and to show that we are famous. Okay? So here, I wanted to see as well, you have a few solutions to remove ads. Maybe some of you already use the AdBlock add-in. You have it for Mozilla, you have it for Opera, you have it for Chrome. This is a small software that is included in your browser that will block systematically any pop-up or any advertisement that you might get when you have a website. When you surf on a website, you know the news, you want to get the news. Since the news are free of advertisement on the right side or on the left side. And sometimes the advertisement automatically will launch the video very loud. Okay, so not nice. This kind of software will block it. Okay, will block all the thing. So on a privacy point of view, again, it's very good. But this is less good for business. Because how do I do to overcome this blockage? It's like you drive your car, but your car, you cannot see the billboard on the right, on the left, because tinted glass. Okay, how do I do? Now you have a few new models. Okay, so the latest model that you have, I call them public advertising website. How does it work? For instance, here I have one, we call it 8 share. So this one is in Malay. Okay. In fact, these websites are going to ask you to advertise on behalf of them. But not advertising just displaying the product, but advertising in a smarter way. How we do? For instance, this one, people will receive this email in their mailbox. Flash giveaway, 10 lucky sharers to share this special will win 10 ringgit each. So you pay the people to advertise for you. So here, it's on the internet, it's for Netflix Malaysia. If you post and share this on your web page, not web page, on your Facebook page, or on your Instagram, or on any of your social networks, then once people start to look at it and click on the advertisement, you will make money. Not a lot, okay? But still, people are willing to do it for money. Okay, so this visual include a creative caption and a tag for a friend who works or who might be interested by Netflix. Here, you're going to send to your friend on Twitter, hey, there's this ad that I find very interesting. Please have a look at it. And when you try to sell something, the best way to sell, if someone comes, knock at your door and say, I want to sell your product, this product, you won't look at it. But if it's your friend who say, hey, have a look at this product, it's nice, you're going to have a look at it. Okay, so it's less intrusive because it's selling by recommendation. And here, if you look at this website, for instance, you can share a lot of things. For instance, here, we're going to share a few articles. Here, the last article, 8 do's and don'ts during Chinese New Year. You say each time someone click on it, you're going to make 20 cents, 10 cents. Never mind, it's not a lot. But at the end of the day, every month, people will be able to get 50 ringgit, 60 ringgit, 100 ringgit by sharing all this. Okay? And okay, in Malaysia, it's 5 to 10 meals, depending what you eat. So it's not bad. Okay, so here you have a few things. Here completed, that means that we close the thing. But each time you have a few articles. And the good thing is that all these articles are articles from real newspaper, from real magazine. For instance, the latest one, they ask you to share this article. How they do to make sure that you share the proper thing. First, they show you, of course, the title. They're going to tell you what is the reward. You can earn up to 10 ringgit when 50 of your friends visit your link. Okay? And they train you how to do. First, know what you're sharing. Important. It's not to share nonsense. They ask you to go to the web page, to click on the web page and to see what you're sharing. And here, for instance, we're sharing something that is published by Petronas. Okay, communication for Petronas. So we can see what is Petronas, how it works. So we arrive on the website, says, which is a magazine website, where you have what you call public advertising. It's the information and at the same time advertising for brand, for a specific brand. Once you read this, they're going to ask you to choose a sharing message in order to be a little bit more accurate. You target your friend. Would you prefer to say, true story, this Malaysian company played a huge role in the Mercedes F1 win, or how a Malaysian company held Mercedes, or the secret of two-time Formula 1 champions? You choose. Already, you differentiate from other people who are going to sell this. And then, you share with your friend, they're going to give you the link to share on Facebook, on Twitter. This is the latest way of doing business, of doing advertising. And it's very interesting because it's not that intrusive. These are your friends who come and say, hey, buddy, have a look at this paper, at this article. You are paid for that. And at the same time, these are articles, because when you read the article, Petronas. But there's still some content. It's not just buy my product because it's the best one, the most beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Okay? It's really something with content. Okay, so Visa, you have a few websites like that now. And Visa, more and more the latest trend and a lot more efficient for your image, for your product, than advertising on radio or advertising on TV. So more, you don't pay a lot for your advertisement. Okay, so Last, I would say, one of the last slides would be the new social platform. Why new social platform? Because you all either heard or use WhatsApp, WeChat, Telegram, Snapchat, Waze, and I put Waze as a social network because you can see your friend online, you can, they start to have advertisement on it. What is, on all this, what is the common ground? What is the, what they are all of these applications in common? Yeah, but some more. Do you, all these applications, you use them with which mean?
Mobile.
Mobile, exactly. So that's why I say new social network platform, because now most of the platform and most of the advertisement is used through all these mobile platform. Okay, less and less we use computer, and the one that I just show you to share advertisement, you can share as well on WhatsApp. No problem. You can share on WeChat. After Snapchat is more for teenagers because it disappears very fast. It's in fact Snapchat. You take a picture. These are the teenagers at the moment, they love it. You take a picture with a caption, something, and it will be online for all your friends for between 12 hours and 2 days, 3 days. And after it will disappear. Okay, this is the concept. It will disappear normally forever. I'm sure that there's someone who is working on the thing to get back. Okay, so all these are the future of communication. The company, just now, I've seen and I followed Waze for the past 3 to 4 years. This, I would say, is one of the next WhatsApp, one of the next platform that will be very, very useful. Waze already, you see people that advertise when you drive through the highway. There will be sometimes some pop-up. There's the restaurant, I don't know, Brown restaurant, Kingfish restaurant. If you want, click here. If you want to stop and have a lunch at this restaurant, and straight away, Waze will change the direction and will bring you to this restaurant on your way back home, for instance. Okay, you have more and more advertisement like that. You see in some place, you see on the newspaper even, Waze us. We don't even put the name and the address of the place we are in the business. Just Waze us. We pay for that, of course. And Waze, you see, you have lots of friends now. You can see all your friends that are online. You can start chatting with your friend, even if they still have to figure out a way to do it. Because when you start to chat with your friend and driving at the same time, it's quite dangerous. Okay, but still, usually Waze, when you are family, there's always the person who is not the driver who follows Waze to see whether you have police in some place, whether you have a speed trap, and so on. So you can still play and see where are your friends. So this is a tool that will grow very, very big within the next couple of years, worldwide. Okay? And second one, which is used as well very, very often, WhatsApp. Even in the university, I don't know how many WhatsApp groups I have, one for the website, and for this, one for that. But in the end, sometimes I send to the wrong group because I don't know. Okay? It can happen. I can say, oh, you was not supposed to receive this message, this one. But WhatsApp, you can share address. WhatsApp is linked as well to Waze, because to send, it's easier to send your location through WhatsApp than through Waze. But after you link it to Waze, and you come to the location. So you send location with WhatsApp, you send image, you send video, audio, so many things. Voice message, like WeChat, where you have as well lots of voice message.
Live video,
That's right.
live video.
So all this, now you start to see that more and more you have companies that make use of it, make use of all these tools to start to advertise, but to advertise to target specifically the customer. WhatsApp, very soon we'll have as well proper analytics. At the moment, no, because it's a still encrypted software application. But very soon, I suppose the way it's
at so far, right? What's that?
they start to have, but it's still very light because of a privacy problem. Because in fact, WhatsApp is like Telegram. It used to be even stronger than Telegram. Means encrypted message. I mean, for instance, the police, they can spy on you on every single SMS, email you send. WhatsApp, they cannot get anything.
Telegram can send the
Still, even if it was similar to Facebook.
You have a good point. It might change very soon. That's true. Because this is an advantage, a strong point to be created.
Yeah.
A strong point for the privacy, but for the business, not such a good point. Okay? Like you have all the cookies or the spyware or the thing that you have on the computer. You don't need any more of this. You know, very simple. With the ways, WeChat, you can know this. Okay, so I just wanted to finish with this. So you know now that digital media and the latest trend is no more what we used to say, like my grandfather, where you just log in on the internet and blah blah. It's really something interactive and intrusive. But if you have the right tool, you can be very, very efficient in the way you sell. So, any question? On average, how many social network tools you use on your site? Just try to count and we're going to see. For instance, me, I'm using Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, have WhatsApp, have Waze, which I don't have.
Lies.
You have Vine as well. You have you have a lot. So I think I'm on 7 to 8 different. YouTube of course. So have at least 8 different social network that I belong to. Some, I think, for instance, Weibo, the one from China, I registered once, but since it's all in Chinese and I don't know how to read the Chinese character yet, I gave up.
But still, you are registered there.
But I managed to register.
So
It's a
what
application that was translating. So. My wife's Chinese anyway, so. That's why.
You can have a Chinese government.
Well, that's why I say me. I have already 8. How many social networks have you registered on your site or you use regularly? If I say those who have only 1 or 2 social networks,
5.
yeah. Okay, we go to 5. How many have 5? 6, 7, yeah. So you see 7, 8, and 10 is a little bit heavy because after you spend 4 hours a day only to reply to all your messages. Okay. But true that we are now we can no more go without it. But what is not so good for us as individual is still very good for business. Okay? Any other question? Any other thing you want to ask about social network, about digital marketing? No?
You didn't touch about the online option that
yeah, different. These are different again. These are Amazon, eBay. Yeah. These are again different things. This is
brand of the visitors.
That's right. Business marketing, you have as well. We could talk about the SEO, all this kind of thing. This, yeah, we could talk about days and days because this is just on social network. So we can go really deep inside how to use Facebook, how to make money with Facebook, all this kind of thing. Yeah, we can really talk for hours and hours. And just a small event, we can do crazy thing in.
Really more young people, because the buying things on website.
Yeah, Lazada, Zalero, Zalando, I think Zalero here, and Zalando in Europe. Because we have names that are very close, but changed in order to. Yeah, Muda, all this website, yeah. This as well, but this is interesting as well to do some research on all these new technologies.
I want to ask regarding the Google Meta. Google launched the Meta a few years back, but then it's not it's early of Meta.
Regarding I didn't
Meta of Google. That Meta basically shows the complete field of the airs. Like in 2009, you have this website search. In 2010, you have this website search. So they have installed the service of this Meta.
Well, evolution, that's true that we don't really know what is going to happen even in 2 years or in 1 year from now. You see, just now, Facebook, 2 days ago, they released this button, this different 6 button. I think it might be interesting, but I don't know until which extent people will use them. So that's why what they change, how they evolve, what is the evolution on the web page, website. I don't really know whether in 2 years from now it won't have completely changed again. You see, because it goes so fast. That was what was true 3 years ago. It's no more true today. On the social network, especially, and on social media. That's why you see, a few years ago we didn't talk about that, but nobody knew that in the companies you had a special job which was social network manager. Now someone who is social network manager in a company earns very good money and is specialized in all this social network. It's really a trend. And they ask, for instance, do you have some scoring on the internet? You can check your score, how much you score on your social media presence. There are a few tools such as Cloud, K-L-O-U-T. You check on cloud.com, it's linked to all your social media. Forgot to talk about as well the professional social media, such as LinkedIn, such as we are all on this as well. So all these tools will enable you to know your score, how much you score on the social media. And a social network manager must be anywhere between 40 and 70 out of 100, because it's a score out of 100. So all this evolve.
Then I have a feedback and a suggestion. Why don't you take a session of us regarding the technical side of this analytics and Google perspective, like SEO, PPC, and things like that?
Yeah. In fact, I'm not even sure because SEO has changed the search engine optimization and the way you describe your website. It has changed in the past 1 year. Google is changing the algorithm to look for it. You can know more. Last time we were talking as well about meta tag. Meta tag are words that are hidden in your web page in the HTML code for all the search engine to find out this word. But now they don't look anymore at the meta tag. Google, they don't look. Yahoo still, Bing no more. Because of all the, the game, the porn, all these websites that make a lot of money, gaming, porn, bet online, all these things, hidden in their HTML page, in their page, where all the tags, almost the dictionary. You Google Barbie doll, you find yourself on the porn website or on the betting website. That's why they remove now, and all these meta tags are no more there. So that's why when we talk about the cost per click or the pay per click or these kind of tools, they try to, they're going to evolve again in the next.
They are thinking of something else while you're moving this meta tag. Then how the Google is going to identify the keywords, how it is going to put up the.
I understood that it was a new algorithm, but since they don't want to display display the secret.
Okay, thank you very much. So we are going to have a presentation. The first presenter, Mr. Abdul Sakar, and you're going to enjoy this presentation. But in this round, this colloquium, definitely it's a panel to evaluate your content, to improve your work, because you feel that section, at least in this round of colloquium. So for this colloquium, you present your research. Colloquium, definitely you are going to have a panel, and they will be that. This is not that much scary, but they will be here definitely to help you to evaluate your performance and give you a comment to improve your progress and your research work. And another thing is, I received feedback from you. You were talking about asking about your certificate of participation and attendance. I'm trying to do our person as well. For those that are attending and participating properly, and we are going to give you also the certificate of attendance. Don't worry about it, there's no issue about it. So for some of you did not receive your lanyard or the card, you can, Mrs. Sarah is there. You can see her, and for those who don't have this lanyard, please take it from her. Wear it. We are proud of this card and this ITT. All of you, this session, please wear it. And the single card, she will also help you to get the card as early as possible. Thank you so much again, and see you in almost 20 minutes later. Was mentioned you to yes. I have copy on this, not here. It also have it here. Whether you make it more, this is so the thing is, this is like essential progress. Just be able to know. Progress is about the achieve. Objectively, practice mistakes. Result a result of research. This is so far. Subject to education, you have many things to share. Right? These are the things you have to use. It's not your story. It's not the story. It's your friends, idea, yeah, sure we can manage. It's your research. You know what? You don't have to that one you change it up a bit. But it's okay, I'll let you know. I can use this pen to draw some. Yeah, I remember because I'm not sure how to use this. So this is the second presentation. We start with the product and then we focus on yes, exactly. During the conversation.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the thank you. How many of you?
So, okay, everyone. Once again, good afternoon. So, we officially start your presentation. And the first presenter is Mr. Adnan Zafar. He is PhD student in informatics. And he's going to present his progress in his research. And he has 30 minutes. And after his presentation, we have Q&A session. You can ask your question and he will answer those questions. Thank you very much. I would like to invite him to come and present his report. Thank you very much. I better put this. Thank you, Dr. Hassan. As Dr. Reza has introduced me, my name is Adnan Zafar, and currently I am doing my PhD in informatics from Malaysia University of Science and Technology. My supervisor is Dr. Salafan, and in IT, as all of you know, that there are so many trends, so many things going on in IT, and there's a whole wide world in IT. There are so many wide things that a person can do in IT. Well, actually, the main thing of PhD is we have to start with a topic. We did the same. We took an effort and we started with a PhD topic. Though it takes a lot of time to search for a very good topic, but after all, it ended up with a very good thing that having meeting with the supervisors and having discussions with the supervisor, we come up with a very good topic. And basically, the topic is something which is happening currently in Pakistan. Since I'm from Pakistan, so my core focus is to cater to those kind of things which are current in Pakistan. The main thing in that is I have to give them a solution so that they can use that particular solution to improve their current system. The solution is basically disaster. I hope everyone of you is very much familiar with disaster. And anyone is there who is not familiar with disaster? No?
Every day.
Happy day, yeah. Disaster day, happy day. Yeah, good. Well, okay. Since we all are familiar with disaster, can anyone here tell me that how many types of disaster are there?
Okay.
Okay.
Terrorism, right?
Okay. That's kind of disasters that you mentioned. But again,
we can say the disaster happened to be natural disaster and man-made disaster.
Exactly. This is what I want to hear from you. Is basically there are two kinds of disasters. If you talk about the types of the disaster, there are two types. One is the man-made disasters that is being created by us, we people, like terrorism, recession, XYZ, chemical problems, and so on and so forth. All of these lie under the conclusion of man-made disaster. On the other hand, the other one is natural disaster. Yeah, this is an interesting thing, natural disaster. In natural disaster, we have so many things. Like we have tremors, we have earthquake, we have volcanoes, we have avalanches, eruptions, and so on and so forth. So many things. And tsunamis as well, yeah, tsunamis. Can anyone of you tell me that which one of them is considered as the mother of all disasters? Yeah, quite interesting because let's put it this way: we have concluded that disaster is the thing. All of you agreed that yes, there are disasters. Quite often we face disasters of so many kinds. Basically, there are two major types of disasters. The first one is man-made disaster, and the other one is natural disaster. Okay, we agree with that. Since focusing on to the natural disasters, we have discussed that there are tsunamis, there are earthquakes, there are volcanic eruptions, and so on and so forth. So many kind of them. Can anyone, the next question is, can anyone help me understand that what is the mother of all these natural disasters? I mean, who?
I think earthquake.
Okay, and why is that so?
Because it doesn't mean it can't predict. It doesn't give you don't know the prediction of when and how it will happen.
Yes, well, this is the point. Earthquake is definitely no doubt considered as the natural of all disasters, as the mother of all disasters. Let me elaborate a bit more in this. If you talk about the tsunami, how tsunami comes? Basically, tsunami is a huge tides, a huge waves that occur in our seas, due to which many things have happened, many bad things have happened. This is because of the earthquake that happened within the sea, inside the sea. Besides that, the other thing is if the earthquake happened in a volcanic area, volcanic eruption is being done. Anywhere where the earthquake is being placed, disaster is there. So we can conclude it that earthquake is considered as the mother of all disasters. Being focused on that, my research is with respect to that. The occurrence of earthquakes in Pakistan. As all of you know that Pakistan is amongst those countries which has on the fault line. Like suppose if we talk about India, we have Pakistan at the center, suppose. If we talk about this Pakistan, we have Pakistan at the center place, and besides this Pakistan, we have Afghanistan and so on, so many other places, so many other countries. We focus on Pakistan. In Pakistan at the north side, we have so many mountains. Suppose if I'm going to create something mountains like this, I'm not very good at drawing, but let's say if these are the mountains, and the fault line basically moves from this point to the whole white to the bottom to the south. So basically means that it just starts from the north to the south. No place is we cannot say that there is no such place which is free from the earthquake. Every place is earthquake in Pakistan. In Pakistan, especially, there are some cities which has a high number of earthquakes. Especially if you talk about the Quetta area, if you talk about the Islamabad area, you might have heard the news back in 2005 and 2008 that there was a big disaster, there was earthquake of magnitude 7 plus in Islamabad, due to which thousands of lives were gone. Based on those understandings, based on those things, I concluded that why not go for a research which helps my country and which helps for a better, which gives my country a better solution. Because so far, again, my next question is from all of you that so far, how many equipments have you experienced so far that helps to identify the earthquake? I mean, you guys might have heard about that earthquake is placed over there, earthquake occurred over there, and so on and so forth. But how many equipments were there to record the earthquake? Equipment? Yeah, equipment. Tool, basically. Yeah.
Seismograph.
Yeah, seismograph. Again, laser technology, GPS technology, GPS technology, and so on and so forth. So many tools are there. Let me write it on the board for you. The first one is, let's suppose seismograph. Seismograph. Let's make it this way. I write the shortcuts for those. The other one, suppose we have the GPS, and then we have the laser, and so on and so forth. So many other things as well. But do you think that is it a feasible solution for a less developed country like Pakistan to have such kind of a tool easily available? I don't think so. For sure, I don't think so, because for the recognition of earthquake, they require some kind of a tool. And currently, yeah, they use seismograph, no doubt about it. But the equipment is not very high-tech seismograph. It's a low-tech seismograph. A less developed country like Pakistan requires, since it is on the fault line and the cities are on the fault line, so it requires something more better than the seismograph. Then this comes to the story that why not we look for something else? Why not we look for something else, something different? There comes a term named as precursors. Have anyone heard about the precursors? Do anyone know what the precursor basically means? Only the general idea of precursor, the general meaning of precursor. Okay, let me help you out in this, no problem. Right? Basically, a precursor means anything that affects early. All of you know that pre means early, and cursor is basically the existence of anything. So precursor in this term is basically the signs of earthquake that we have to focus before earthquake actually happens. So my research is basically on the precursors. That what are the signs of the precursors through which we can easily identify the earthquake. So based on these
analysis based on these understandings are very useful because so based on these understandings, I have started my research on searching for some precursors and found some interesting precursors that can easily be available in environment and in the atmosphere. Um, okay, the next question from all of you is, in your life till now, have you ever experienced earthquake?
Yes.
That's nice. That's nice. Can you please share? I mean, that's nice from my perspective, not your perspective, obviously. But can you please share your experience with us a bit?
Well, shaking, right? So there was like big noise, and the whole building was shaking, and lamps and all that, and we hid under the table. Right. So
That is the best.
but unfortunately, it was not that long.
Yeah. But since you are talking about the shaking of the building, then this definitely means it's higher than 6 magnitude. The magnitude must be higher than 6. Because if it's under 6 magnitude, there's no such kind of shaking of a building. Yes, table might shake a bit, but as far as the building is concerned, it's impossible to shake if it is not of 6 magnitude. Okay. So, moving further. So moving further, my research is basically a alert system centered on precursor exploration. And what are the basic precursors? By the help of which we can easily identify now that there is a chance that the earthquake might have happened. Supervisors are Dr. Salaman and Dr. Syed Asif Ali. So Syed Asif Ali is basically my professor in Pakistan, and Salaman is my professor here in Must. So I'm using both of them as my supervisors. The agenda for today's meeting is semester progress, fall 015. Then in the semester progress, what I've done so far, I have given you the basic idea of my research and what I'm going to do in my PhD program in IT. And in fall 015, I have done these kind of few things, and then the milestone for the upcoming semester. That what I have decided. The semester progress basically includes the, as I have told you, the proposal submission. I have started, as you are going to do this job as well. I have done this job as well. It's a very tidy job. Firstly, selecting a title is very hectic. Then once a title is being selected, it needs to be refined again and again, so that you can better conclusion that okay, we have to work on this. And besides the title progress, the scope of the title is very important. The scope of our research is very important. Well, I remember that day when I go to Dr. Sir and inform him that I want to do something like this, he tell me, okay, tell me your scope. I told him that I want to work on complete the whole less developed countries. He told me, I remember that. He told me, have you listed down the less developed countries? How many less developed countries are there? I told him that there are too many less developed countries. He told me, no, let's be focused on your country, since your country is left as less developed country as well. So better narrow down your scope to your country only. So proposal submission, back and forth meeting with my supervisor, and then it get accepted finally. Then the background, well actually the background is basically the what I have experienced so far, what were the aims and objectives of my research. Basically the aims and objectives of my research includes that I have to search, I have to develop a system for the people so that they can easily, you can say that they can easily find a better place to hide if they found a situation when there is an earthquake. The situation will definitely affect you with the precursors. Precursors basically involve the ionization and the GPS, like area changes or so. Okay. Then how we are going to evaluate it? It's very simple. It's a very simple way. All of you have heard, all of you might have used the term known as longitude and latitude. All of you are familiar with the terms longitude and latitude, right? Yes. All of you are familiar with longitude and latitude. Have you ever experienced, I don't know whether you have experienced it or not, but as soon as there is a chance of earthquake, either a few days to weeks before, the longitude and latitude is started changing. The longitude and latitude of a particular country started changing. So this is what I am going to focus on. Besides that longitude and latitude, there's a very interesting bit regarding the animals. Have you heard about the animals behaving unusually before the earthquake?
That's a lot of same.
So focusing on them is a very feasible solution for a less developed country. That why not we focus on such kind of a precursor and start a new setup of that, so that as soon as they experience any unnaturality in the nature, they start behaving unusually, and that anyone who is going to note them, they can easily identify that okay, something bad is going to happen. There's a saying that precaution is better than cure. I hope everyone has heard that saying, that precaution is better than cure. Similarly, no one can predict the outcome. Neither can you, neither can I, neither can the scientists over there, neither can these seismograph or high-tech equipment. But what we can do is we can provide a solution to them, so that okay, they can prepare themselves that there is a possibility of an earthquake that might come into that area, and that possibility is based on facts and figures. That again, it based on the data that is being collected. So the background is all about that. In second chapter, I have done my literature review. For literature review, professors usually say that it's better to do a huge literature review. As we have seen in tomorrow's slide, that we need to be the giant, or we need to be at the top of the giant to see what's going on in this world. So yes, it took me a while to do the literature review in this. I have tried so many good things, so many bad things regarding it. That is it possible? Is it not possible? That what things are going to be happening if I go with this? And in Pakistan, is it easy to implement it? Because focusing on the precursor is not that easy to implement. But since things are very easily available in Pakistan, so that I thought that it's more easier for me. Literature review I've done quite for a long time, and then the research methodology. It's in progress. The chapter 3 is in progress. In this progress, chapter 3, the methodology is being decided. The methodology basically involves, like, first of all, we need to gather the data. Data collection is a very important thing in any PhD kind of thing. Data collection is something that helps a lot. And as being an IT person, there's a saying that the more data you get, the more chance of reliability you have. The less data you get, the less chance of reliability you have. So data collection is another important thing. And besides that, the system that I'm going to develop for such identification of the precursor is basically a web-based application. And based on that web-based application, things are being entered into the website, into the web-based application. Because website is now it's like anyone can easily log on to the website, and anyone can easily access the website. So what I'm going to do is the main focus is creating the website for that, web portal for that. Anyone from any region in Pakistan, obviously, can enter their details, can enter their the problems or whatever the precursor they might have focused. I have given them some sort of a questionnaire over there, which elaborates that what are the precursors they might face and what are the how they are going to analyze that this is a precursor or not. So they have a questionnaire over there. Being filled that questionnaire, they can easily upload the data on the website, and the data, there's again an algorithm over there which is going to calculate the data, analyze the data, and then send an alert signals to everyone. So this is the whole idea of my research. In chapter 3, currently I'm developing my website. As far as the thesis are concerned, I've done my chapter 1, chapter 2, and I'm working on chapter 3 as well. Besides that, I have taken a seminar. I've given a seminar in back in my country, the state university. It is Sindh Madrasa of Islam, and a quite big mix of that seminar which I've given over there. And then meeting with the supervisors. Overall, yes, you need to meet with the supervisor. I did meet up with my supervisor, including my emails. Dr. Sir has helped me a lot. And whenever I email him, he definitely responds me. It takes a few time for him to respond, but he responds me a lot. And besides that, I have a supervisor like at my as well. So he's available for me. Like whenever I used to ask him regarding anything, he's available for me. He helps me a lot in this. So a discussion is an important thing, and discussion basically includes the research guidelines and the thesis structure, chapters of the thesis, and design and development of the prototype. Now the prototype is very important for any project. Prototype, currently I am working on the prototype of my application, and based on that prototype, I'm going to inquire. I'm going to gather all the data, and based on that data, I'm going to put some algorithms onto it, and then the calculations is being done. So chapter 3 will be gathering the data, developing the system. Chapter 4 will be the analysis and the results, and chapter 5 will be future work, and so like we have discussed so far. Besides that, I have submitted my research papers to some good journals, obviously,
and waiting for their review, waiting for their response, that's what they are going to say. I hope that the response is positive so that I can go further with my research. So research drafts is very important. I have submitted my research drafts to those journals, and obviously before submitting my research draft, I've shared it with my supervisors. Both of my supervisors have shared it with them. They have given me some corrections onto it. I have done my corrections onto it, and then resubmit to them first. Once they have given me the approval, then I move forward, and then I have submitted it to the journals. Milestones for the next semester. What I will be going to do in next semester. In next semester, my aim will be, well, my aim will be not my research. My research has its own aims and objectives, as I discussed earlier. My aim will be I need to implement the prototype first, and then the data collection. And after the data collection, working on chapter 3, research methodology on the thesis. I have to do the thesis as well. I need to complete it in time. So I will be working on the thesis and will be creating the prototype and collecting the data as well. Collection of data, well, it won't be that much difficult for me these days, because all of you know that there are so many travelers. 015 and 016 are considered as the highest era or the highest years of travel. So I don't have any issues. Like in Pakistan, like if you talk about 060, it's more than 10 which has arrived so far, and there are more to come, and there will be more to come in Pakistan. So based on that perspective, based on that facts and figures, which is being provided by Dawn News and some other news as well, some other methodologists as well, I am going to implement the same on those areas, on those plotlines, collect the data, put it on the prototype which I have created, and then start analyzing the results. That what are the results for the research. That's all from my side. That's all from the work that I've done so far from the last fall 050. That is all that I have done. If you have any questions, if you have any queries regarding the idea, regarding any other thing, we are more than welcome to help you out. Please.
You said your thesis is on IT.
Yes.
Right. So for me, it looks more like geologist or levels earthquake scientist, right? So wouldn't that be an issue? That,
so actually, the first thing is data collection. Part of a data collection, you can say that it is like a geologist kind of thing. But how we are going to implement the data, on where we are going to implement the data, we need to have a system. And that system needs to have some kind of an algorithm that sends the alert signals to all the community. So getting the data is a very lesser part of the PhD. But analyzing the data, then disseminating the knowledge that is being analyzed through the website based on SMS and any other relevant social media material that I have, it's completely based on ICT, information and communications technology.
Would you also make use of the extreme value theory?
Sorry?
The extreme value theory, right, where you try to predict, the magnitude, right, so that it's also...
No. I'm not going. I'm not going to focus on the magnitude. But yes, I do know one thing. Epicenter is very important in this. Epicenter is basically the location where it is going to hit. Okay. Yeah. So epicenter matters a lot, and epicenter usually has its fault lines. The fault lines over there, they have the epicenters. Well, there are two more things. The first thing is, suppose this is your region, and it has divisions in that region. Suppose this is the epicenter. The two things that matters a lot in any research, something like this, is basically the magnitude and the depth of the phenomenon. If you talk about the magnitude, it's basically the epicenter. This is the epicenter. And if you talk about the depth matters a lot. There's, again, in literature review, I found a new thing that says that if there is a depth of greater than 300 km, I'm talking about kilometers, if there's a depth of greater than 300 kilometers, then the effect is very low. Whereas if the depth is below, like less than 300, it means that it is more closer to the surface of the ground. Suppose this is the ground, this is the surface of the ground, and if you talk about the depth, this will be the depth. And if the depth is greater than 300, then there will be a problem. Like it's very less effect on the environment, on the community. But if it is less than 300, suppose if this is the level, then it has a devastating effect. And again, the lesser,
the figures. The lesser the most catastrophic. So I won't be focusing on the magnitude, I won't be focusing on this, but yes, what I'll be focusing is, suppose this is the line that is cross-sectioning this magnitude. So my idea, my precursor will be on to this position, and as soon as this precursor predicts any unusual activity in the environment, which usually have, because there's a whole literature review over there, which says that there is an unusual activity. So as soon as it detects the activity, it sends signal to the server, and server calculates each and everything. The whole graph is there. Based on the graph, based on the analysis of this, data is being sent to the delegate. So it's all like over there. It's no geology or nothing else. Okay. I hope you are pretty much okay with that, because yeah. Any other question? Any other one who has some concerns regarding this? No? Then I guess it's pretty much okay then. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Luis and Mr. San, I asked Mr. Zol to help to take photo for your card. You have 5 minutes break, you can go and take photo. Mr. Zol? Mr. Zol, will you please take photo from these two students? Thank you very much, Mr. Adnan. Very impressive presentation. And yes. But for your information, later on in our next colloquium, when you are going to present your practice report, I like this part that he presented his plan for the next semester, what he's going to do. It's a very interesting part. But beyond that, when we talk about your practice report, you must talk about whatever activity you've done in terms of your achievements. Means that this is my aim, objective, this is my literature review, as a present more detail about what you've done so far. Not just talking about you see your supervisor or these things that definitely is happening, but more details about your research. What you have achieved so far, what was your presentation, your literature study, what's your aim, objective, and all. These are our panel can see and can correct you if any problems with that. So our next presenter is Ms. Preeti. She's also a PhD student in IT. She's also a lecturer at UST as well. And while she's preparing herself for presentation, I would like to ask Mr. Sad and Mr. Luis to go and take photo for a card. So all you have to learn here, right? Español is fake art. Okay. So please all here to her presentation. Thanks for the time.
with this. Okay. Hi, good afternoon. I hope you can hear me now. Sorry for my voice here. Okay. My name is Preeti. I'm doing PhD Informatics, and this September semester has been my second semester here at MUSD. And here you go, this is my title. Telecom Data Integration and Analytics is model to enhance customer experience. Yeah. So this is my title, and what is customer experience? Like today morning we had the lecture from Dr. Prem. He said customer loyalty, all these things are actually outdated. So what these service industries are focusing on now is customer experience management, CEM. Earlier we used to have something called CRM, which all of you know, customer relationship management. But nowadays the industry is more shifting from CRM to CEM, customer experience management, or if you say customer experience, it's just called CX, customer experience. So first I'll show you. Sorry, this is new to me. Yeah, okay, that's my name. I'm doing PhD Informatics, and my supervisor is same as Adnan's, Prof. Sarapan. This is the overview of my presentation today. Probably I'll just give you a background of my research topic. My specific objective that I have been trying to work on for this semester and how I have achieved this objective, the few steps I have done in this semester. I'll show you the analysis, what I have done, how I plan to work for this semester at the beginning of September, and how far I have achieved, and how much more is there for me to complete my PhD, and the publication that I've done in this one semester. First, as I told you earlier, my topic is telecom data. So, what is telecom? Are you all using your mobile phones? Yes. Have you all used it today? Yes. How many times have you used it today?
Too many times.
Okay. How many times? Each time you send an SMS is considered as one time. Even if you don't send an SMS, you receive an SMS. Even then, your number has been used once. You make a call, or you receive a call, or you just make a missed call, or you receive a missed call. All of this is considered like your number is being used today. So my point of concern here is, okay, we're all using phone, and you can see even kids are having their own numbers these days. They go to tuition, they carry a phone. So there are so many number of mobile connections in the world. And there is a survey which says the number of mobile numbers that are registered and that are active, those numbers are equal to the population of the world. In some countries, the number of mobile connections are more than the population of the country. Why? Because some people are having two numbers, one business number, one personal number, so many connections are there. If we have so many mobile connections, then it just means there are so much of data. Each number is actually generating data. Each time we use a phone, data is being generated and this data is being saved or stored. That's why we can even trace back our records based on the phone call or SMS that we've sent before few months, before few years. Everything can be traced back if we go to the operator, and if necessary, it's possible to retrieve the data record back. Okay. So what is the problem here? You can see the picture here. Everybody is using a phone. You go to a get-together, there also you see people sitting together and using the phone. What I explained just now is just the traditional SMS and mobile call. But today the data is generated not only from SMS and mobile call. Most of the data is generated by using all these apps, WhatsApp messages, using internet, MMS, also browsing the internet using your phone. All this generates data. Okay. So how much of data is generated? That is a problem here. How much of data is generated? Probably we know gigabytes, terabytes, but in this particular industry, the telecom industry, how much of data is generated? You can see there are terabytes, petabytes of data, not for 1 year, just for 1 day. Or if the service provider, the operator is a big operator, maybe like Maxis, Digi, they even generate this amount of data for half a day, for 3 or 4 hours only. So they have to keep saving this data forever. So what is the use of saving this data forever? So that kept me thinking, why are they saving? They just purchase hardware and they keep on saving the data, keep on saving the data. So what do? Is there any use? So that led me to the problem. Why do they store this huge amount of data and how can they use it for their own benefit? So for any business company, then what's the underlying thing is they want profit. How do they get profit? If they have more customers or if their margin is higher. So let's concentrate on more customers because everybody is using a phone. So there are more customers. So how a company profits is just by not letting out the customers to the competitor. If they prevent customer churn, meaning the customers stay back with them, then they are profiting in their business. So my point of concern here is how do they do it using this data they are saving? Or is it even possible to achieve this objective while they are saving all this data? Is there any use for this data or not? So here is the data that we are concentrating here. This data, okay, this is called the big data, and big data actually has a proper definition. Big data actually doesn't mean only that the data size is very big. Probably if you're from a non-IT background, you may just think the data is very big. That's why it's called big data. If the data is petabytes, then we call it big data. But no, it's not only the volume of data. There are actually different characteristics for big data. The data is big. It's just one of the characteristics. But also, the data is in motion, meaning the data is never at rest. If you take the telecom server, then do you think any one particular time there is no data being generated? Nobody is making a call in the whole world, or at least in Malaysia? Is there any particular half an hour where no SMSs are being sent and received? No. You cannot take a cutoff point. Let's take the data at 12 o'clock. If you take the data at 12 o'clock and the data at 12:30, the data is different. It's growing. It keeps on growing 24 cross 7 cross 365 days. And also, the data is of different types. It's not only the SMS, the text messages. We can send or receive audio, video, photo, browse websites, browse locations, IP addresses. All these are the different data types. We are no more talking about just alphabets and numbers. Data is not only alphabets and numbers, it's of different types. Also, some of the data may be uncertain. So when all these 4 characteristics meet, then only is called big data. And this is a particular industry where data fulfills all these characteristics. So it gets all the more difficult to analyze them. So my research questions for my research area here are how to comprehend this explosive growth of data. It's just not simple growth, it's explosive growth of data. And also, with all these data being saved, are the customers happy with telecom? Are we happy with whatever SIM cards we're using now? Are we happy with Maxis or DG or any company? We still have our own priorities. Each customer's priority may be different, so they have to satisfy the customer. And also, this is my main motivation for the research. Can this big data help to measure the customer experiences? I have a few objectives, but in my slide here, this is the one particular objective I have tried to work towards for my last semester, September. Explorative research on the factors affecting customer experience in the Malaysian telecom industry. I tried to do this as a case study. I just reworded it from an objective to my topic of work in semester 2. This flowchart actually indicates my entire research activities for my PhD. So the first three are basically the background study. Sorry, the font is very, very tiny. The first three are just the background study and formulating the methodology of my research and getting my proposal accepted in my department. And this is what I've done in my semester 2, exploratory research on the factors affecting Malaysian telecom customer experience. And this is my rest of the semesters, I don't know how long. Okay. Before I started Sem 2, I actually had a rough timeline on what are the activities I cover, maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, how long it will take. So roughly I planned from September until March. Some of the weeks have been like lagging behind because of work schedule, because of family commitments, but I managed to cover up. I'm somewhere in the timeline, but not exactly following it. It really helps to have a timeline. At least it shows us like whether we are keeping up to our schedule or if we are lagging behind, how much we lag behind. So the timeline really helped me. This is from my literature review, my telecom customer experience. There have been few researches on especially this terminology, customer experience, in different country settings and in different industries. When we talk about service industries, this customer experience research has been done in hospitals, has been done in education industry, as well as telecom. But telecom customer experience survey is very, very negligible in number. This is basically a customer experience, what are the factors affecting it. And this is how to measure the customer experience. According to a source mentioned below, customer experience can be measured using 4 categories: by observation, interviews, focus groups, and quantitative surveys. How I have done my measurement of customer experience is I have followed in-depth interviews and also quantitative survey in this semester. This is a full picture of the subscribers in Malaysia alone. We have 44 million subscribers as per first quarter of 2015 in Malaysia, and the breakdown of the operators are mentioned here. This is a survey I carried out last semester on the factors affecting customer experience in Malaysian telecom. The subscriber base in Malaysia is about 44 million plus, and the sample size that I have who had responded to my survey are 518. The response rate for my survey has been 82% because I have followed up with most of the people whom I have handed out the survey, hence the response rate is higher. And these are some of the techniques I used for my sampling: touchpoint survey and snowball sampling. For this sampling, the margin of error has been 4.4%. When this number is very less, you can see that the results are within this error percentage only. So 4.4% is a reasonable enough margin of error. These are some of the respondents' profile I have. These are the basic characteristics captured, which operator they are using, how many years they have been using this operator, and the type of service they are using, prepaid or postpaid, and their location, whether it's an urban area or a rural area. Also their age and gender. There are 2 interesting analyses I want to bring out for today's presentation. One is the cross-tabulation between the operator and the type of service, the prepaid or postpaid. As you can see, some of the operators, they are prepaid. The number of customers who are using the prepaid is very high compared to the number of customers who are using a postpaid. For some of the operators, you see the reverse is true. So this also helps us to reflect or compare with the policies and plans they are offering to the operators. This is another interesting cross-tabulation after analyzing my data. Here you can see the x-axis is the years a customer has been using an operator, whether it's only less than 1 year, 2 to 5 years, 6 to 10, or more than 10 years. The blue color bar is for prepaid and green color is for postpaid. Interestingly, when you see the second group of clustered bar, here you can see when the operator is between 2 to 5 years of usage, the customers are prepaid and there are lesser number of customers who are postpaid. When you go to more than 10 years, you can see the green color is so high, meaning very loyal customers who have stuck with the company have always been postpaid users. Or in the other words, postpaid users don't churn very fast. Prepaid, the customer churn is very high. The questionnaire has been tested using Cronbach Alpha, and also the validity has been tested. Okay. This is actually an inter-item correlation for all the 28 factors I've been trying to measure in my questionnaire. But since it's very difficult to comprehend for further analysis, actually this is not the end of my study. As I told you, I have a long way to go. So initially this doesn't help. So a factor analysis of all these 28 factors I have measured helps to group these 28 factors I've measured into 5 main factors. This factor analysis also helps to show whether I have grouped them correctly in my questionnaire, also which are the factors which are not relevant or maybe not significantly relevant to my study. So you can see the first 7 questions are grouped under factor 1. But A1 you can see there's no data because this A1 is a particular question which does not significantly correlate to any of the 5 factors mentioned. So probably this doesn't add value. Similarly, there is another question which doesn't contribute significantly to any of the factors mentioned. Instead of seeing the intercorrelation matrix, then the factor correlation matrix gives us more meaningful data about which are the factors which correlate with each other, and then further study has to be done based on whether this factor is supporting our argument or not. Since it's not yet March 30, this is so far that I've completed. I haven't really finished it. Conclusion. So for this semester, so what I have done for this semester is I've been trying to do this basic customer experience study and analyzing. The analysis part hasn't been completed yet. I'm looking to complete it by end of March or middle of April. A little bit lagging from my timeline. So at the end of this research, I hope to find the main 4 factors which contribute to superior CX or customer experience. In this semester, I have participated in a conference which thereby got published in a journal, and I'm actually preparing for another paper later. That's all. Thank you. Do you have any questions for me?
Wouldn't it also be worthwhile when we talk about customer experience to cluster the customers? Have you considered that?
Cluster the customers on what basis?
Well, I mean, that's maybe that one you could relate to your 5 main areas, right? So whether we see also any correlation on, what they are expecting and what they are experiencing, right? Because that would be, I think, quite crucial for the to consider, because everyone has different expectations, right? Yeah, I mentioned that.
You're right. Okay. Again, I need to go back to my topic. Okay. Yes. Mapping that again. Okay, I remind this is PhD in informatics. So when I go entirely on customer and whether that is related, I take out my research away from the area of informatics. So here what I'm trying to do is my main phase is to integrate these telecom data and analyze them. But why do I integrate them and why do I analyze them? My main objective is to enhance CX. So I still need to keep my main focus on data integration and analytics, where this is just my motivation why I want to integrate and analyze. But customer experience is not my main motivation for my entire PhD, although this particular semester I'm concentrating on CS.
So anyone else? Any question?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Ms. Pretty. Your presentation was very interesting and impressive as usual. She was also a student in research method class. You did very well. And I hope you can finish your study on time. Effectively, you can publish more papers and in a high impact factor journals. Okay, our next presenter is Mr. Yahya Imam Munir. He is also PhD student in IT in informatics. And we have one more presentation, Mr. Ozur. Also, he is master student in IT. Thank you.
My name is Yahya Imam Munir Colloquium. I'm a PhD informatics student. Today, I'm here to present what I achieved so far in the study. The title of my research work is Integrated Management Information System from the State Road Transport Booking Process, case study in Nigeria. My supervisors are Professor Akman, who happens to be my main supervisor, and Dr. Reza, who is my co-supervisor. Before I go into the presentation proper, I would like to go over the presentation methods. What I'm going to cover today, first I'm discussing the introduction, under which I'm going to talk about the problem statements, aim objectives, followed by literature review, methodology, case study, data collection analysis, design of the proposed model, deliverables, significance of study, conclusion, and finally references. This study focuses on booking and reservation in transportation, the booking and reservation of services in transportation. And what I'm focusing is how passengers actually make booking for operator services. And my case study here is, I'm using Nigeria as a case study. And when it comes to passenger information management, passenger information management, there are a lot of techniques and modules that have been developed in the area of transportation informatics. And these techniques are not that effective as such, being that at this technology age, lots of passengers still have to queue at this transportation terminals, all in the name of acquisition of tickets, which results to time wastage and the likes. And another important point is that some of these transport operators have some additional services that are still very difficult to implement on the current models. And that is what I'm trying to look into. I'm trying to see if I can actually put all these services on the same platform to operate. Now, as I've said earlier, too much of queue, something like this. It is also a lot of what we're actually familiar with here is a good example is for LRT, for instance. Early in the morning, when people are going to offices, they have to queue, buying token, unless we have touch and go credit. If I just go and move. So there's a situation whereby you have to purchase the token, then you have to wait for a while. So which results in some kind of time wastage. And I've said earlier, there are services that are not available on these current models, such as all models such as we're all familiar with my taxi. We're all familiar with, if you are at place, I think it's one in Asia, this part of the world, my taxi. And the other a good example is EasyBook. That one is for interstate travelers. So these services are not really available on these platforms. They only focuses on transporting passengers from one location to another. And I'm trying, and these services are very important to large of people in the society. So I'm trying to see how to implement, to include these services and reduce time wastage in acquisition of traveling tickets. Now, the aim of this research work is to develop an enhanced looking and disability model for interstate road transport system that will be integrated on the cross-platform mobile technology. The model comprises of booking services for passengers, charter services, police services, and courier services. Those are the left-out services that are not available on any model currently. And the specific objectives are to investigate the current situation. And when this comes to develop, to achieve this aim, it involves to get a specific case study that is in target area. And that's why I'm using Nigeria, because I'm from Nigeria, for easy, in order to get easy access to my data. And that's why I have to investigate the current situation and the necessity for an enhanced interstate road booking and reservation system in Nigeria. To investigate the booking process of interstate transportation system that connect the major cities in Nigeria, to develop a cross-breed model with the combination of DA and GRT. DA means digital writing and GRT is demand responsive technique. To implement the model on a native cross-platform mobile application, actually there's something behind this place, IPMIS. To test the model by deploying it for public use, and finally to evaluate the effectiveness of this model compared with other existing models. This is in terms of benchmarking. Now, in the course of this study, some literature were actually reviewed, and few of them were summarized here, whereby the authors, the title of their work, and their strengths and limitations were highlighted. Because of that, I won't go into details. Now, the methodology. The methodology of this study falls into three major categories. The first part is the research, model implementation, as well as deployment. Actually, the three phases involve research, but in particular phase is more concentrated on the research part of the whole work. And the first thing I did was the first thing I was actually carried out was the formulation of the research requirements. That is all the product statements to check if time wasted is really a problem or not. And also, in the course of this investigation, that was when it was revealed that there are some additional services that were not on these other platforms. In doing this, we find out what is the reason behind this, and it was revealed that the process of operations of those platform services is different from the other one. That's why they are finding very difficult to implement together. And this took us to the literatures. Some literatures were reviewed in the field of transmission informatics in order to tackle this problem. And we found out that there are a lot of techniques, a lot of algorithm techniques that have been developed to assuage all these problems. And we try to come up with tools that can be combined in order to implement those left-out services on the current platform. And two important techniques were chosen, which are digital algorithm and demand responsive technique. Now, having said this, some data were collected in order to actually test the implementation, in order to check for the necessity of this model. And collecting this data, and I've said earlier, involves a case study. And the data were actually collected in Nigeria. And the mode of collecting this data is through questionnaire and interview. This data was actually analyzed using SPSS. Then, based on the result of the analysis, the model was developed. And after the model, we go to the next phase of the methodology, which is model implementation. And in doing this, it involves some real-life implementation of just development of application in the sense of it. And when it comes to app development, the first thing to think of is how are you going to represent your data, how are you going to structure your data, and that's when the choice of database comes in. And here, MongoDB was chosen. MongoDB is a family of NoSQL database. Before now, we are all familiar with relational database. It's a common kind of database where SQL, MySQL, Oracle, and the likes. So NoSQL is another category of database, the new generation category of database that's just come about a few years ago. And one of them is MongoDB. There are others, there's OrangeDB, there's Hadoop, and the likes. So MongoDB was chosen for this implementation. Then, selection of a suitable mobile app category. When it comes to mobile application, there are three major categories. There is a hybrid application, there is a native application, and there is a mobile web application. So here, the native application was chosen, also due to some certain criteria. The selection of suitable mobile apps development framework. Codename was chosen. Here, when it comes to mobile app development framework, there are a lot of them as well. One of the most popular one is PhoneGap. PhoneGap. Another one is Xamarin. Another one is NativeScript, and the likes. So Codename was chosen. Why? Because we are looking at a situation whereby this implementation will also create fast-track learning process when it comes to teaching, or if anybody wanted to learn how to develop mobile applications. So applying adapting this type of framework will not be an issue. Will actually encourage every individual that is I'm interested in learning how to develop mobile application. Then Java was used. Now test. The testing will be carried out on iOS, Android, Windows, BlackBerry, mobile platform. What did I mean by this? Currently, most of the mobile app developers that develop Android apps, iOS apps, and Windows application, BlackBerry, and phone. What they do is that they have different departments for these platforms, and they have their engineers, their programmers that work on these specific platforms. But in the real sense of it, it is very expensive and takes time. But using this program one, you only need to develop only once and run anywhere. So, and this will help us to achieve the cross-platform I mentioned earlier from the objective. I mentioned something like cross-platform. So you only need to develop once, then run. You can build for iOS, build for Android, build for Windows, build for BlackBerry as long as you want. So, and that is why that's what led to the deployments. So after building this, it will be deployed on Android, iOS, Windows, and BlackBerry. Only one code. And finally, there will be conclusion and recommendation. Now, data collection analysis. I said case study. My case study is Nigeria. Nigeria is a country in West Africa with almost 200 million population. It comprises of 6 geopolitical zones, among which are South-South, Southwest, Southeast, Northeast, Northwest, and North Central. I've said the major cities in these zones were actually considered, and some of them are Maiduguri, Kano, Kaduna, Abuja, Lokoja, Enugu, Port Harcourt, Lagos, and Ibadan. So what I'm trying to check in this is that I'm trying to consider the major rules that lead these major cities. If the work can be applied to this, if the result of if the model can be applied in these major cities, then expanding it to cover the whole country will not be a problem. Now, in the course of the data collection, some transport operators were considered. 20 transport operators were considered based on certain criteria. One of the criteria is availability of services, popularity, and location, as well as accessibility of their offices to their customers. And in total, 556 responses were gotten. And ABC transport are the most and less. In percentages, we got the highest response from the on-site promoters, which is 9%, and then followed by Chisco Transport, cross country, and the lowest is AKB, which is 2%. So, analyzing this, the collected samples, we use cross-tabulation and to check, and it was revealed that 309 were males, 256 were female, and total is 565. Out of these 309 males, 43 of them fall in the ages of 18 to 25. And that sum up to 13.9% of this of the total of this total. And 171 of them fall in the ages of 26 to 35. And that sum up to 55.3% of this total. Same goes to the ages between 36 to 46, and 74 in August, and the sum up to 23.6%. And above 45, 22 numbers, and the sum of 7.5%. of this population. And on the female part, the total number is 256, and 256, 99 of them falls in the ages of 18 and 25, 82 of them falls in the ages of 82 of them fall in the ages of 26 and 35, 41 of them fall in the ages of 36 and 45, and 34 of them are above 45. And in total, we have 142 respondents that falls in the age of 18 and 25. 253 falls in the age of 26 and 35. 114 falls in the ages of 36 and 45. 56 are above 45. This is cumulative frequency for this information. Before we proceed, two tests were carried out, and now that is liability test and validity test. Comeback alpha was used reliability test, and it was proven statistically that questions were reliable because the calculated value is higher than the required 7.0. And this is the total identity statistics of the 3 questions. For the validity testing, KM1 and Bartlett test were used, and the result of the test also showed that statistically the sample is valid because the calculated significant value is less than 0.05. Another test that was carried out is to check what is the most common means of booking among these customers. And the result of the test revealed that customer patronize booking offices over any other channel. The channels that were considered were company websites. Some of these transport corporations have websites. Some have mobile app. Then some refer you to come to their offices to go and make some booking. So in doing this, we realized that out of the total number of 566, 465, 517 made booking through the company office. Only 11 booked through the company website, and 37 used other, probably through agents or through their maybe some kind of advertisement or two. So another thing that was done is to check for the necessity of this model before the implementation at all, and the result also shows that we also use cross-tab to check for the necessity. And if you look at this place, not useful, strongly disagree. 13 respondents said the model is not useful for them. And they also disagree with it that they are not interested, or they are not using smartphone, because among the information inside the questionnaire was that the application will run on mobile. And 0, no one said it's not useful, it's useful and strongly disagree. None of them said it's extremely useful and strongly disagree. None of them also said it's not useful and agree. So 319 said it's useful and agree with the model. 122 said it's extremely useful and also agree with the model. Then 0 disagreed. 0 strongly disagreed and said no, it's not useful. Same goes to useful and strongly disagree. Then 111 said it's extremely useful and strongly agree. So in total, by sum this this and this together, you should get 500 and, sorry, you should get 565, which is our sample size. Now, to further establish that, to further establish the necessity of this model, chi-square test was carried out, and this test shows that there's a significant relationship between the two variables. Say the calculated value is less than 0.05. So, which means the model is necessary and is needed. Now, on the part of the operators, which are the service provider, their responses based on how these services works, how they operate, and based on our knowledge from the literatures that we reviewed, the area of classification informatics, we assign those services to those techniques. So for passenger trip services, we go with gesture, and for these other ones, go with the more responsive technique. And this led to the design of the model. Now, the model comprises of three phases. These are the operators, which are the service providers, techniques, then proposed services. The study is trying to propose these services, and if this particular service is requested, then that means this requested service. Then there's a connection between the techniques and the operators. It is search for this for any operator that actually have the service, they return the results. Now, significance of the study. And here's model that facilitates booking and reservation process. Yes, because it allows more services on the platform. Then coordinate booking and reservation process of several operators, several transport operators is not for only one operator. It's across that's several operators. Then economically efficient. It is in terms of you don't need to pay extra in terms of transport to go and purchase a booking card. Strictly do it straight on your phone. Then reduce operational costs significantly based on the part of operators, which means they don't need to employ so many staffs, only one administrator just to verify the tickets. Then reduce stress and risk that passengers go through. Still, like the picture I showed earlier, you can imagine someone queuing in this type of environment, stress. So you can easily do the whatever on the booking on the phone. Then improve service delivery. Improve service delivery, but this is if you are, take for instance for courier service, you don't need to be checking from one operator to another before you send the parcel. From your phone will do the screen for will do the filtering for you and return the available operators for that particular way that you are planning to send your parcel. You can send your parcel at home, you can send your parcel at the office, from anyway. All that matters is that your phone should be able to detect the location of where you are making the booking. Send the location to the computer, then they come and pick your parcel and deal with it. The deliverables. The architectural design of the prototype comprises of 5 components: the client app, the REST server, the DB, the ticket verification system, and alert system. This is limited to the client. This is what user will install on their phones. Then REST server is what actually serve the clients and also fetch information from database and return information to database. Then ticket verification system. This is where the operator verify the authenticity of the tickets. And alert systems at the last stage of booking from the client's phone. And an alert system here will trigger that there's a new record. In a situation whereby a customer or a passenger requested for a courier service, and he or she is about to confirm the booking after payment. An SMS is expected to return to the client's phone within 5 seconds. And this SMS, before this SMS returns to the client's phone, this notification must have triggered. So because of submission, this alert system was triggered in order to notify the operator that a particular booking has been made. So the next 2 seconds, the SMS message, confirmation message in forms of confirmation mail that will have the confirmation booking code will be sent in form of SMS to the user. And to model this whole system, I've used use case. Use case comprises of 3 factors, which are the user, admin, and the service provider. Each of these actors have their respective functions that can operations that can perform on the system, and some are influenced, some are not. So to further explain this, I use sequence diagram to explain the flow of the operation, how they actually carry out the operation. And this is for service provider, and finally for admin. Admin have the general control, the overall control over the application. Admin can actually remove service provider or have service provider or do some kind of updating on the application. In conclusion, the result of this study will relieve the pressure of queue. We relieve the pressure of queue among passengers, as well as achieve an efficient management and achieve an efficient management of operators' services. Not only that, it will also fast track the model, the implementation approach in this study will also fast track the learning process of mobile app development among students. Thank you.
So, can anyone ask any question? Mr. Moni? You have said that you will create an app which work on iOS and so that's what the operating systems are done. So are you going to use Colloquium or something else?
Just that was why I said I think I mentioned it because of that. That's why you go through it. Colloquium doesn't have the features of response born anyway. And as I've said earlier, when it comes to mobile app development, there are 3 major categories. We have web, we have mobile web, we have native, and we have hybrid. Colloquium is very, very good for mobile web application. If you use it for mobile web application, it's very good, and you can only use it to design for a specific platform. So in this case, and one of the goals of the application, one of the goals of the study is to create an application that will be able to run on every platform, and that is why Colloquium is not qualified for this one. So that's why I'm using Colloquium. So far, currently now, Colloquium is the only framework that allows you to write once and run everywhere. Colloquium, yes. And another interesting part of the implementation part is that everything is open source and it's free. So far, I've not spent a dime for development.
So basically, this code name one, it helps to create an iOS application as well as Windows application.
Yes.
With the same code.
It's, actually, nothing easy comes easy. Nothing good comes easy. So it's not easy, but the end results really worth it.
But the code will be different for Android, for iOS, and for Windows application.
That's what I'm saying. You only develop once. You only write once. You only write based on how the code name one, based on the syntax of the code name one framework. So once you do that, all you need is just click.
So no Eclipse, nothing.
No Eclipse. Good. It involves an ID.
Yes,
And basically, we have three major IDs: Eclipse, IntelliJ, and NetBeans. Among these three IDs, Eclipse is good. It has a lot of features, but some plugins in Eclipse are not free. Yes. Same goes to IntelliJ. IntelliJ is very fast. Also, some plugins in IntelliJ are not free. But in NetBeans, most of the plugins in NetBeans are free. Most of them are free. And that's why I'm using NetBeans.
but you will need some ADT for that. ADT for that.
You said?
ADT.
Entity.
Yeah, Android Development Toolkit. ADT.
I don't get it.
Android Development Toolkit.
SDK.
Something like that.
You don't need that.
Okay.
All you need is that once you install the NetBeans, once you install the NetBeans, just add the plugin, code them more plugins, and you're good to go. And if you are there are another constraint that you must know how to use Java very well. So once you are doing that,
I completely agree. Is there any other questions? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Munir. He's one of those students, they're trying to learn. As I know, his bachelor program background is not in IT, right? Not in programming. But he worked a lot to learn, to get his skill of programming, and nowadays he's doing very well. But some minor comments is, I asked you to put some detail, not that too much details. I could see your face, and some of you were almost sleeping. Some were playing with mobile phones, and others were checking website. Means that I should not go too much details. But the good things in his presentation is I could see he summarized the literature review in a table. That's very good. Another thing is in his flow chart, I could see he presented the very concise flow chart about the flow of his research, and also he gave us a detailed flow chart. That is also interesting. But one more thing is, definitely all of you have this creativity, but I'm looking for your more creativity. When you are presenting the result, do not be relying on just SPSS. I saw some of you presented your bar chart, others, you get it from SPSS. SPSS is not professional software in graphical design. It's better you get the data from SPSS and go to Excel or other tools, make those graph more nice and interesting. So anyway, the next presenter is Mr. Ozur, master student in IT. I would like to invite him. He's trying to set up his presentation. I hope this is the last presentation. I hope you enjoyed today's session. The best thing in this environment, one day you got cold. When I was in my country, it was snowy days. I did not have this problem. When I came here, the weather is hot. And I can't go, I'm sorry, my voice is not really clear and really strong, but I hope you tolerate me for these days.
Should I say good morning to you? Should I say good morning to Should I say good morning to you? Or is it evening already? I want responses. I want you to be lively. People are just all sitting quiet, too quiet. So make some at least make it to be lively. So good morning or good evening. Which one is more appropriate as of this time? All right. Thank you very much. My name is Uzotochukwu Valentine, and I'm IT student, Malaysian University of Science and Technology. And today I'm here to present my progress report on development of blood donor appeal system in Nigeria. This is where a case study is being taken place. So, you know, blood donation is one critical thing in human existence and human lives. In all our activities, in everything we do, blood is kind of, when they say black diamond refer as truth, they refer blood as a red diamond, which is very, very precious to human existence on Earth. So these are the outline of my work. Introduction, how I feel to show my progress report, what I've been able to done so far. The layman that so looking at blood transfusion itself, is a safe procedure through which blood is given to you through intravenous line, that is IV, to you. So this is a picture of being gotten from Nigerian Daily Post, a newspaper in Nigeria concerning the donation of donation of blood. So looking at my problem statements, I just have to make it to be concise and brief. Looking at the major three problems in blood donation in Nigeria, talking about the blood shortage, unsafe blood, and incompatibility or cross-matching. These are the key areas we have issues to tackle with. Then looking at the blood shortage in Nigeria. Nigeria is a country of vast ethnicity and have 36 states plus the Federal Capital Territory and the surrounding countries within. So blood shortage is a critical issue faced in both developed and developed nations. Blood transfusion is not only a problem in Nigeria but to the world generally. the blood facts and statistics of 2015 say that in every 2 seconds in America, blood is required. And it's required that 41,000 blood donations are made every day in the United States of America. Then come to take up Nigeria as a whole. The statistics being carried out in Nigeria shows that 1.4 to 1.7 million blood are being needed annually in Nigeria. And what are the major constraints of this shortage of blood in Nigeria? You talk about the masses that are unwilling to donate. If 10% of Nigerian youths or 10% population of Nigerian, 10% of Nigerian populace donate blood regularly, there won't be any blood shortage in Nigeria. So this is the map of Nigeria showing the various states in Nigeria, with the 36 states plus the federal capital territory, Abuja. Then one of the motivations that prompted me to talk about blood donation to develop this application is based on the mayhems being done over here in the northeast of Nigeria. When my friend Adnan was like presenting his program, I was talking about natural disasters as the types of disasters. So we talked about natural disasters and man-made disasters. Then we talked about the suicide bombers and the rest of it. So what prompted me to do this project or this thesis is based on this northwest of Nigeria, constituted of Borno Maiduguri. These are where more mayhems are being perpetuated almost on a weekly or, should I say, daily basis, where bomb blasts are being carried out. And when you look at it, when people are being rushed to the hospital, there is no blood, there is a shortage of blood. Because people are unwilling, people don't have application, they don't know how to appeal to the masses for them to be able to donate the blood. So what we are trying to do here is to create a situation, a scenario whereby we develop an app which can be able to be downloaded on your mobile app, because in every, let's say, 6 to 10 Nigerians walking on the streets definitely make use of a smartphone. And with that particular smartphone, you can be able to download, you receive message to know the exact location of the BTS around you, that is blood transfusion service around you, or any of the layouts that you can be able to donate blood willingly. So we also have to talk about the unsafe blood. Blood safety is paramount in every blood transfusion. Most donors are to high risk of transmissible infection, which includes HIV, syphilis, hepatitis C. And World Bank have already made it a kind of a mandatory part of their policies that they need remuneration of people that do donate blood. And this is here where we have to talk about types of donors, types of donors here. We talk about the voluntary donors. These voluntary donors are kind of, they practice what we call altruism, which means full donation. They donate freely, out of will. While they also have families with replacements. This one are the patients. If their sibling or any relation is ill, they can be able to donate blood based on, because they don't donate just because they want to donate, but they donate because it's a family member. Paid donors. Now, this is the critical aspect of it in Nigeria. Nothing goes for free. If some of you understand what I mean, you don't just give something without collecting something. So some of them believe that they either get incentives or they get paid for the donation of blood, which they give, which 90% of blood donors in Nigeria are paid donors. So, but with this mobile app, we have to find a way to create or sensitize the public more for them to be able to freely donate the blood, so we can reach the mark of World Health Organization of what they propose about voluntary donors. Because those voluntary donors, they donate freely because they know that they don't have anything to fear. But these fake donors are kind of highly infected. Some of them are highly infected, which there is no use of safe blood. So looking over here, you see the prevalence chart from Benue to Kebbi. This prevalence chart shows the rate of HIV/AIDS per state in Nigeria. With this, it shows you that Benue State is the highest of 12.7% of HIV prevalence rates in Nigeria. So talking about incompatibility, this is also an area whereby talk about blood discrepancies. When each and every one of us here, blood flows through our veins, but not of the same type. You might be A type, I might be AB type, you might be O positive. It depends. And that is where we have AB and RH blood types. Talking about these blood types, they have what they call compatibility. The same blood, I might not be able to donate the same blood with him. And we talk about the O positive. These are the universal donors. You can be able to donate to anyone, but not everybody can give you blood, can donate blood to you. So this system also have to deal with the blood discrepancies for us to be able to know if that is compatible, to know each blood that is applicable to each and every one of the donors. So this chart shows the compatibility chart of who and who the blood ought to be donated to. So my objective is to investigate the current model used in donor appeal system in Nigeria, to establish various camp locations for donors, to establish a model for donor recruitment and the database, to test proposed model. So my research question, before I did my objectives, comes research question. How can blood donation services be accessible and increase blood percentage of donation in Nigeria? Without these applications, being not being developed, some people are not being synthesized. They don't even know where to donate blood. Some people are willing to donate, but they don't know how to donate. They don't know if I go over there, I can be able to donate blood or not. So with this development of mobile app, you can be able to know that this is a specific place you can be able to donate blood. So how can we create awareness? Based on what I'm saying right now, that some people are willing to donate, but they don't know how. With this mobile app, you can be able to donate. Have your unique code and unique number. Can it minimize the blood type discrepancies? Based on what I talk about, the comparability and cross matching. If further it is actually be able to for us to be able to know if I'm able to be able to him or her. So how can the proposed system be tested? So based on the literature review, I just narrowed it down to some of the existing applications being developed on this particular field. So don't talk about the Spousal SMS. Spousal SMS definitely is the mobile app being used in Nigeria. So for them to be able to dictate counterfeit drugs. When you buy any health product in Nigeria, definitely they have a scratch panel. What you just have to do is for you to just squeeze the panel out, and then when you squeeze the panel out, you then see a unique code which will simply send to a specific number, 38138. This is just a specific number you just have to send it to. So we talk about the BitRoller. It's an American software solution that have to do with the BTS. So we also have GBlock, it's a Canadian blood service application being developed and being managed by Canadians. So we talk about the Live Bank app. It's a mobile application developed by 1% organization in Nigeria to appeal for blood donation. So based on all these existing applications being developed, we have to look at their strengths and their weaknesses and know where to improve on the application we are developing. So the methodology here although I finished my chapter 2, I'm on my chapter 3 about rounding up. So I have to still give you a early brief of what I'm doing in chapter 3. It's definitely a survey methodology to use to get ideas, to know what people perceive of the existing application being used in the blood donation service, to know if it is appeal to them, to know if it creates the awareness, to know if they want to understand, to know if they can be able to donate blood willingly or freely. So these are the things the survey methodology have to use to do the research for us to know how to improve on the existing systems. So the significance of the study, globally, blood is referred as to as rare diamond, which is a rare commodity. Each and every one of us here donates blood. Anyone that donates blood saves life, and life is the most precious thing on earth. Without blood, each and every one of us will be dead. So blood helps us to kind of sustain and be into existence. So this research is trying to establish a relationship between stakeholders, which are the institutions, the BTS, the hospitals, and which includes the CTAS donors and the government themselves. So conclusion, the Android mobile donor appeal system with all the enhanced features will give all the necessary information this product to stakeholders. With the enhancements of these software applications, donors and seekers will be able to have visual benefits in reduction of the blood shortage in Nigeria. These are the effects of used. Thank you very much. Any question?
Okay, you can ask your questions. Mr. Uzur.
Only?
Okay. Okay. Sorry? I didn't know. Okay, it's an Android mobile app. Okay, definitely I will need to use them to develop it. Say what? The framework I will use for it. I'll use we are going to use PHP. You understand what I mean? The framework itself, the exact work itself, is going to be based on the. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're talking about. I'm just going to run it on using the PHP software. You understand?
What I mean is that when it comes to Android development, where if you're going to develop an Android application, there are a lot of frameworks that you should explore. I just want to know whether you are actually going to use any other ones that is cheaper than what I already know. Yes, that's why I'm asking. But you are saying
So you're talking about something like NetBeans and investment. NetBeans and
NetBeans is an idea. It's not. You don't use NetBeans.
No. Here right now in this application, first of all, the Mac one is going to be on that end of HTML. You understand? Then on this thing is the programming language I have to use here is a Java programming language. Then the ID is used to make Are you talking about the database?
One of the examples I use is native scripts. Native scripts allow HTML policies and
Sorry. What? No, what I'm using is Android Script itself. But here in this work right now, I have two parts. which are the front end and the back end. So the front end is going to be the Android studio. The Android studio itself. Then it's an open source. Then for the web application itself, based on the PHP I told you about. So that is how I'm doing it. Yeah. Yeah. What? Okay, my SQL. I just want to use that. Okay, maybe I'll look at the solution and adjust my but right now